In our last video, we created our upper control limit and our lower control limit. And I just want to, here, I'm going to drag my chart up here so you can see it. I want to reemphasize what it means. So my upper control limit is 8.714, okay? And my lower control limit is negative 1.51. And what these limits tell me is that it is statistically impossible or nearly impossible for a data point to arrive outside of those lines without me doing something. Okay, so right now my process is rolling a six-sided die, a regular six-sided die, and it is nearly impossible. Knowing what a die is, it is impossible for me to get something above or below those lines. However, in this example, you could have a business process that is the same way, meaning we have the exact same numbers, and it would be telling us the same thing. It would be impossible to be getting a score above 8.71 without us manipulating the process somehow. So, of course, what we want to do is manipulate the process for the good. So our process, we're trying to get a 5 or a 6. So what can we do to get a 5 or something higher than the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay. Well, what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and instead of rolling one six-sided die, we're now going to roll two. So we're trying to get higher than a 5 or a 6, and instead of rolling one, we're going to roll two. So we'll do this for 5 rolls. So I'm going to move my chart so I can add some data. So we have roll, we're going to add in some lines here, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we're going to do 5 rolls, and now we're going to roll 2 dice instead of just the 1. So I'm going to just use a formula to randomly select these. It's the same as rolling a die. So if I go rand between, and my number is going to be 1, or excuse me, now I can't even get a 1 because I'm rolling 2, right? 2 dice, so I would get a 2, or I could get all the way up to a 12. Okay, so I'll throw that number in, slide those down, and then copy and paste my values. That way they don't change on me. So what this will do for me now, and I'm going to actually drag these down as well so that my control limits go along. So if you look at my chart, you can see what happened. So I changed my process, and that allowed me to break those control limits. Now, this is for good or for bad. Sometimes you change your process, and let's say I'm wanting to get higher numbers, right? And I change my process and I end up with lower numbers. Well, that means whatever change I made wasn't good. But in this example, because I have data points that are above this upper control limit, what that's telling me is, hey, this right here, what you changed after the 16th roll, after the 15th roll, what you changed, it manipulated your process. It's no longer the same. Okay, so we have new data. And now you notice I didn't include my my control limit calculation. I didn't include the new data. And the reason why is because I'm trying to compare my old data or my new data against my old data. So I want to use still those same control limits from before. But in this case, we figured out something that works. We don't have a 12-sided die or an 8-sided die, so to improve our chances, we'll just roll 2 6-sided dice, and then our process will improve. And I can see that by my upper control limits.